Okay, welcome everyone. Here we are with chapter 12, I Want to Go Home. So this chapter is another profound chapter, and this one is very much about the metaphysics, getting clear around when there's projection. Of course, it's always coming from something deeper within the mind. And then just getting really clear on discernment between what is true, what is false, in regards to perception and thoughts and the dream. What is true and what is false. And there's even at the end of this chapter, there's a practice given, an assignment given from the Holy Spirit to really get clear about it. So here we go. Chapter 12, I Want to Go Home. Summer, fall 2005. And we start with a poem. Love is all there is. The pathway home to remembrance is letting go of everything unlike love. To remember that love is all there is to remember God. Have faith in the simplicity of the fact you are that which you seek. Love is all there is. Going home to heaven. We had a lively discussion one night at Bumpety House in which the subject of wanting to go home to heaven came up. This was my journaling with the Holy Spirit on the following day. Journaling, Kirsten. Good morning, Holy Spirit. Last night, a friend asked, when will it happen? I want to go home. I want to be in heaven. As if there really is somewhere else to go. What can you tell me about this? Holy Spirit, the way you feel right now, peaceful, settled, present, is like being on heaven's doorstep. This world is made up. Its laws are made up. The reason it seems so real and in need of overcoming or escaping is that it was taken seriously. The mind that no longer believes this world to be real and true is free of it. The mind that judges feels trapped in time and space. Kirsten, the kingdom of heaven is within. Holy Spirit, yes. The flashes of light and other visual effects that you and your friends experience and talk about are reminders, symbols that this world is not what it seems. Kirsten, so desiring special effects is not the best use of time. It's better to continue with laying aside all judgment and allowing the transfer of training to take place. Holy Spirit, yes. The way to release this world is to let it go. Wishing for and wanting certain experiences in and from it make it seem real. It is not the world that needs escaping. It is the belief that it is real. Kirsten, I don't have a driving need to know more than this. I'm curious about where to from here, but thinking about it seems to move me away from my one goal, which is the peace of God. Trying to imagine being elsewhere or experiencing something other than what is here and now doesn't feel helpful. It makes time seem real, like an obstacle to heaven, like a real problem between where I am and where I want to be. All I need to is relax and sink into the moment to experience peace. I can feel that this moment is the reflection of the state of heaven. Angry at God. Still with our friends at Bumpety House, I went for an afternoon siesta. I found myself becoming irritated and annoyed as I heard David down the hall brushing his teeth. In my opinion, he was making loud and unnecessary noises. Thoughts flew through my mind. Not everyone makes noises like that. He does it all the time. I'm fed up with this. I shouldn't have to put up with it. Unsuspecting, David came into the room and lay down. I told him, not for the first time, how I felt. David, I'm angry at you for making hoiking noises. He replied, you're not angry with me, you're angry at God. And then he turned over and fell asleep. I took this in and began to work with it. I'm angry at God? Why? Because I'm in pain. This world is a painful place. Where is the pain? My head, neck, and shoulders have been hurting for 2 days, and now my eyes hurt. If all pain is a decision projected onto the body, and this is all my mind, where are my thoughts of pain coming from? Taking a mental review of where I'd witnessed pain and suffering recently, I realized I'd been perceiving pain on a daily basis for several days now. One by one, I went through each person and situation where I'd perceived someone to be in pain, struggling with life, or wanting healing, but who wasn't quite there yet. Each time I discovered a memory, I said to myself, I perceived pain in this person, and I projected this pain onto my body. I repeated this, releasing the pain from my mind and body. By the time I'd finished my review, all of the pain had gone. Some unspecific sadness came up, and I cried a few tears. But afterwards, I felt peaceful. I had been unsure of whether to go out that evening to a movie with David and our friends, but feeling light and free, I got up, showered, and joined them on the outing. I shared my experience in the car on the way to the movie, and before long we were all laughing like children in a candy store. Dreams. Journaling. Kirsten. Good morning, Holy Spirit. Thank you for this day. My dreams last night were all over the place. Lack of control was the central theme running through all of the different scenarios. Holy Spirit, your mind plays out wish fulfillment. Your dreams symbolize your thoughts and your hypothetical alternatives to events that have happened in daily life. Kirsten, it feels like I'm judging my behavior, my attitude, and myself, even in my sleeping dreams. I woke up feeling guilty for telling my dog off in my dream. Holy Spirit, it's all mind. It's all thoughts. It's all dreams. Give them all to me. Forgive yourself and your perception of what happened, including the characters and their actions. Without purpose, they are meaningless, like everything of this world. Forgive them. Give them your blessing and release them from what you thought they were. I sit in meditation and welcome forgiveness to wash through the memories of my recent nighttime dreams and daytime experiences. A gentle peace radiates throughout my mind, blessing everyone and everything. Kirsten. Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. I can now see that everything I perceive is my own consciousness. There's a subtle sense that I've done something wrong, that I was dishonest. I want to make amends and get it right this time in each dream scenario. I want the world to play the game my way, and I blame the characters if they don't do what I want them to do. It's all wrong-minded thoughts, acted out by myself and my characters, based on the belief in separation. I'm trying to control the world based on guilt and fear of lack of control. Do you have anything to add? Holy Spirit, love your brother as yourself, including those in your nighttime dreams. You are innocent. Love yourself, including the you in your nighttime dreams. Kirsten, So how about when I set my day? I decide upon the day that I want. I choose peace and love, willing to forgive anything that comes up for healing, so that my dream will play out accordingly. After realizing the control issue in the nighttime dreams, perhaps I'm also trying to control the daytime dream. Holy Spirit, the ego perpetuates lack of control and need for control. Only the ego does not know what it wants. It decides upon what it wants based on lack and fear, and it tries to control the circumstances and outcomes to have its goal. But it is not satisfied when it gets what it wants. It never feels in control and safe. This is why it craves control, believing it will find security in forms or illusions. When you choose God, you choose to hear and follow my guidance. You are making the one decision that has real results. In heaven, there is no lack, and therefore there are no needs. There is nothing missing, nothing to strive for, nothing that could interfere with or limit. Therefore, control is meaningless. This world is a stage. The set is full of props. The props will not bring lasting peace and happiness. How can they? They are props. By desiring the props, the characters believe they need to control the play. They fear that the other characters may interfere with the insane desire to attain and keep these hollow objects. When you give your day, your life to me with total willingness to listen and follow my guidance, I will direct you through the seeming maze of unreal props and scenes. The props can be used as symbols to help point the way for you. Your fellow characters become witnesses to your desire for love, happiness, and peace. When your will is joined with mine, your play becomes enjoyable, filled with miracles, love, and laughter. Kirsten, thank you, Holy Spirit. God's love. My experience this morning after reading about healing in the teacher's manual was the living experience of God embracing me and surrounding me in the all-encompassing love that is. I shared my experience with David, Kathy, and Bob this morning at Bumpety House. I tried to explain that the love they are and the supportive, nurturing environment that comes from our shared purpose is the light that shines away the darkness. I've been through a lot of healing in the past 2 weeks, and it's happened so quickly and easily because every moment I've been showered in love. Journaling. Kirsten. Good morning, Holy Spirit. This morning's reading said that healing is certain, but is not always accepted immediately. So even if I am in doubt, I am to give with trust and certainty of outcome. This is true giving. The spirit and the mind of the receiver seeks the gift, and it is the spirit and the mind of the giver who gives it. It is given by God to God. Therefore, it can never be wasted, lost, or ineffectual. Do you have anything to add? Holy Spirit, you give the gift of life to your brother simply by being who you are. Speak to the Christ in your brother. Look not to appearances and temporary illusions that he may hold about himself. Kirsten, could you explain given by God to God? Holy Spirit, God is. Illusions are nothing. The light, the healing, the love, the truth, and my presence in you seem to join with your brother when he asks for healing and healing is offered. In truth, there is nothing to heal. This projected world and its images are not the object of healing. The mind is. In truth, the mind is healed and whole. When the light shines between two seemingly separate minds, there is a realization that healing is already complete, that there was never really anything to heal. How can what has always been whole be in need of healing? God is, because God is everywhere. God can be felt and experienced, but not seen in the projected illusions. Moments of intense love and revelations are glimpses of what lies beyond this world. Kirsten, so healing is simply letting go of the belief that anything of this world is true. Remembering and experiencing God is healing because it is the truth. There is nothing to heal. Holy Spirit, yes. Kirsten, I can feel his presence now. It seems to be a hum, a gentle and yet powerful, reverent allness, surrounding me, embracing me. Home is everywhere. I feel so much gratitude and so much love. Only the truth is true. This is notes taken from the Manual for Teachers. The belief in order of difficulties is the basis for the world's perception. It rests on differences, on uneven background and shifting foreground, on varying degrees of darkness and light, and thousands of contrasts in which each thing seen competes with every other in order to be recognized. What the body's eyes behold is only conflict. Look not to them for peace and understanding. The one answer to all illusions is truth. My morning reading from the Manual for Teachers was on perception. I had some understanding of the teachings, but I also had questions. Journaling. Kirsten. Good morning, Holy Spirit. I understand the ultimate teaching of the Course. Only the truth is true, and only love is real. To have unified perception, the false must all be put in the same category, with no exceptions. Holding on to even one illusion and keeping it apart from the rest is holding on to all illusions. Waking up from this dream means releasing the world entirely. How can I put this into practice? Holy Spirit, practice this lesson throughout the day. Put everything you see in one of two categories, true or false, the real or the unreal. Kirsten. So when I experience love, when I see the Christ in my brother, when I pat the cat and she purrs with happiness, this is all witnessing to the real? Holy Spirit, let's take the scenario with seeing the Christ. The body's eyes may report differences in shape, size, and actions, so these are put in the false or unreal category. The experience of the present moment, seeing the Christ, feeling the connection of love between you and your brother is put in the true or real category. Kirsten, the same with the cat, seeing her body size, various movements, and volume of sounds as differences is the unreal, and enjoying the bliss of present moment together is the real? Holy Spirit, yes. For example, when you're at the store, seeing the carts, the lights, and the different forms of people is all unreal. Your state of mind, being the present moment, connecting with your brothers, and seeing only the truth of who they are, goes in the category of real. Kirsten, great. I have an assignment. Sounds like fun, and the perfect way to spend my last day at Bumpety House. All day, I silently put my thoughts into the categories of true or false. Walking outside, I noticed the big, tall trees and sighed with happiness. But big, tall, and trees causing happiness all went into the category of false. So what was my happiness caused by? I paused and felt it. Being in the moment was true. I noticed the light shining through the branches and continued on in appreciation. It didn't feel right to designate this as false, although I knew somehow that the sunlight itself couldn't cause happiness. But something about appreciating the warmth and the light felt good. I continued to walk further and saw a cage. My first thought was a judgment. I was hoping that an animal wasn't caged up. I won't like our hosts if an animal is caged. Immediately, I placed the thought of a caged animal into the category of false and noticed my mind shift from concern to feeling inquisitive. Perhaps there was an animal to visit with. Back at the house, I observed my reactions and responses to conversations, people, sounds, and situations. I noticed that almost every thought I had was false. My thoughts were mostly judgments that happened very quickly. As I mentally saw them as false, it opened my mind to an experience of being inquisitive and watching to see what would happen next. I was delighted to find myself feeling free and happy rather than weighed down with a familiar sense of thinking that I knew everything. That evening, David and I packed our cases, ready to leave in the morning. We were full of gratitude for our time with Kathy and Bob and everyone who had come to share the love of Christ with us. Thank you. Thank you for joining, everyone.